So seeing as how these neighbors kept the hallways and the carpet, I don't even want to see what inside of their house looks like, okay? This place is deteriorating. This place is falling apart. I need to move. Hi guys, Nadia here. Welcome back to my channel, Nadia's World. If you are new here, welcome. So guys, as promised, this is the video about why I moved, why I needed to move, why I'm glad I moved. Is this new place perfect? Absolutely not. I'm kind of regretting this move, but this video is not about how I'm feeling here right now. This is about why I moved. So if you want to see more of that, be sure to stay tuned and keep on watching. And guys, before I begin this video, don't forget to like, you know the usual. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Guys, share with your friends and your family, your nieces, your nephews, your brothers, your sisters, yeah. And guys, please watch the ads. Me know me a beg no, yes. But please, pretty please, watch the ads. You only have to watch a long ad, guys, for like 2 minutes. So if the ad is like an hour long, 30 minutes long, all you have to do is watch the ad for 2 minutes. If it's 30 seconds, just let it play out. If it's 1 minute, let it play out. If it's 2 minutes, just let it play out until it gets back to my video, okay? All right, so guys, why I moved. My third Saturday in September, back in September, my third Saturday, I was heading to bed. I get into my room. It's about 1 o'clock at night, right? Back then, guys, before I started school, that's another story. We'll leave that for another video. Or at the end of the video, I'll talk about me now being back in school. But that Saturday night, usually, you know, it's a weekend, I stay up late, watch movies on Hulu. Hulu, guys, don't get me started, right? So it was like almost 1 o'clock at night, not quite. I'm heading to bed. Guys, stick a pin. I'm sorry, stick a pin. Before I start this story, let me just say this. Before this incident started, I've been wanting to move from my apartment, from that apartment complex. I've been wanting to move. Number one, the carpets were getting nasty and dingy. They weren't keeping up bright lights on every floor. Like, the hallways were getting dark. Let me tell you guys, management took over. New management took over in 2019, like summer 2019. And guys, I'm telling you, when that new management took over, my building changed. When I moved to that building in summer 2015, nice. It wasn't luxurious, and that's fine, but it was nice, it was clean. I was proud to be living there. They had concierge, they had private parking, which at that time, guys, back in 2015, considering where I was moving from at that time and I had to park my car on the street, I appreciated having private parking. Yes, it would have cost me some more dollars, but that's fine. My place, when they renovated it, was beautiful. Again, not luxurious like what I have now, even though I think this could be better, but not as luxurious as what I have now. But it was clean, it was properly painted, it was huge, it was gigantic, so much closet space, and that's what I wanted. Fast forward 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 4 years later, old management left, new management takes over, and I was warned though, because my coworker who lived like just down the street from me, she was actually my manager at work when I worked in Brooklyn, who lived like just down the street from me in another building that was owned by the current management. She's like, Nadia, I hear a new management is going to take over. Their name is so and so, and I hear they don't care about their tenants, they just care about money. And guys, lo and behold, I'm telling you, like August 2019, when that new management took over, number one, they didn't even introduce themselves. That's one thing. Nobody came in person, you know, like to have like a little town hall meeting. That's what I was expecting. Nothing like that. They put up a signage on the front door of the building, like, hey, we're new management, yada yada yada. If you need us, call us, yada yada yada. That was it, guys. Like, no formal introduction. Rewind 4 months earlier that year of 2019 with the management before, the good management. Going back to the dingy, nasty carpets, I guess because they knew they were leaving, man, they shampooed those carpets, guys, when I tell you. And mind you, they weren't that dirty. But maybe it's because they knew they were leaving. It was January 2019, around my birthday. I remember after my birthday passed, like close to the end of January, they vacuumed all 9 floors. And mind you, I was on the top floor. I was on the last floor, the 9th floor, and in the back, which was like the best place to be because it's no noise, it's quiet. I'm on the top floor. I don't have anybody like above me to like, I hear feet walking, nothing like that. Plus, guys, that building was built like years ago. So I feel like it was made out of concrete. You know, like how Jamaican homes are made out of concrete, guys? That's one American building. I feel like it was made out of concrete. But anyway, they shampooed those carpets from the 1st floor to the 9th floor, January 2019. I was like, oh my God, I feel so good living here. And then they updated the elevator because the elevator wasn't looking so good, guys. They updated the elevator. So when I saw the new elevator, I was like, wow, this is nice. Didn't realize it was smaller though, because if you guys watch my video prior to this one, which I will link down below, you will hear me talking about me losing my huge couch because it couldn't fit in the new elevator. So I'm seeing shampoo being washed, I'm seeing carpets being washed, I'm seeing new elevator. I felt proud to be living where I was living for those 4 years, not knowing at the time that current management is doing all of this because they know they will be leaving. Guys, our trolley was this old like a supermarket cart. It was disgusting. And they upgraded us to, you know those hotel looking trolleys, which is what I have here. They updated that apartment complex to those nice hotel looking like trolleys. So I'm like, wow, this building is really stepping up. Like, it was nice and clean before, but they're trying to, move to like the more luxurious side. Not knowing they were doing all of this because they were leaving. Guys, they left. New management came summer 2019, and everything after that, guys, just went downhill. We used to have Christmas tree every year, like lit, nice, beautiful, in the like concierge slash lobby area. From the day I moved there, guys, in 2015, once Christmas came around, you saw that big beautiful tree lit up from like December 2nd, like the first week in December. And it was a pleasure to come home to, because I worked all the way in Brooklyn, I'm tired out and everything, so it was a pleasure coming home to that. So guys, management takes over, and I started noticing little things. Carpets were getting dingy again, and mind you, my neighbors on my floor, nasty. There's no other way to say it. Nasty, disgusting. From one in particular, their front mat, your welcome mat. Guys, from the moment I moved there in 2015, I wanted to just take that mat up and just throw it in the garbage. Like, you are what you represent, you know? And I'm like, all of these years, they never bothered to move that disgusting looking welcome mat, guys. That should tell you a lot about people and your neighbors. When I tell you, I think I have a footage of the carpet earlier this year. I think I have a footage because one day I went somewhere in July and I came back, and mind you guys, every year since 2019, the carpets were getting worse and worse and worse. And they were getting worse because I had neighbors who would drag, not lift, but drag their garbage with all the juice in it, right? Like, how disgusting. Drag their garbage all the way to the trash area, and because there was a trash area on every floor. Like, you wouldn't notice because there's a door there. So you put your trash in there, and I don't know the proper name for it, but you could see the streaks from my neighbor's door all the way to the garbage area. And you know that's all juice, guys. That's gonna stain. That is going to stain. And don't get me wrong, a few of my neighbors on that floor, just like me, clean. And guys, I feel like when you live somewhere, it's not just about keeping inside of your apartment looking good and clean. You should care about the aesthetics of your apartment hallways, the floors, the walls. You should care about that. If you're a clean person and inside of your apartment looks good as well, you're gonna want the outside of your apartment to look good as well. So seeing as how these neighbors kept the hallways and the carpet, I don't even want to see what inside of their house looks like. Okay? So yeah, carpets started getting worse. When I tell you, people would spill stuff, guys. And that one neighbor with the disgusting welcome mat, big old stain. I think that happened like 2020 or late 2019. Guys, a big old stain right there. So every time I get off the elevator, and even the elevator, guys, when I would get off my elevator, there's a big old nasty, juicy stain in the carpet, just welcoming you to the 9th floor. And I'm just like, the longer I stay here, this is getting disgusting. And I'm like, Nadia, you know you need a house. You know you need to keep saving. Just stick it out, baby girl. Stick it out. Just stick it out. Just tough it out, as you would say in Jamaica. Just tough it out. And it was hard for me to do that because I wouldn't want anybody coming to visit me, guys, to see, wow, is this where she lives? Even though 4 or 5 years ago, it didn't look like that at all. I was embarrassed to invite people over. Because yes, I care about how I represent myself. And for me to invite people to my place and then they can see that my apartment itself is nice, but then before getting to my apartment, it's like going through a germs factory, you know? So yeah, so by early 2020, guys, I started to feel extremely embarrassed about where I lived. It was no longer that pristine place that welcomed me in summer 2015. And I was like, girl, one more year. So 2019, I was like, one more year, Nadia. And then 2020 came with COVID and everything. I was like, Nadia, stick it out one more year and that's it. And then the carpets kept getting worse. The walls, guys, let me tell you, earlier this year, 2021, mind you, before the wall situation, every week they would have someone come up to each floor and clean, not shampoo the carpets. That wasn't gonna happen again. They would have someone come and vacuum the carpets. And mind you, guys, now that I'm working from home, I started like fully working from home in May 2020. I'm sorry, 2020, right? So I'm home, guys. When you're home, it's like you notice everything. And everything that is not supposed to be how it's supposed to be, it starts to bother you, you know? So I would notice that they would have a worker come up every Monday or Tuesday, and sometimes he would come twice a week, guys. I noticed that by April 2020, it stopped. And I remember, guys, for Easter 2020, I got an old broom because I'm like, I don't need to use this broom inside my home anymore. So I can't take this messy carpet going on out here. I'm gonna sweep my area. And I didn't just sweep my area, guys. I swept my hallway area, just so it could look nice and clean. And mind you, it can't really be nice and clean because all those stains are there. All those juicy, nasty, garbage stains are there. So even when the guy was coming to vacuum, he couldn't get those out. So guys, that Easter, I remember it was Holy Thursday. I took my broom and I took a little garbage bag and I swept that carpet until it looked presentable. It was aesthetically pleasing to me. Not perfect, but in better condition, because they started to slack on everything, guys. We had on the first floor, we had office management. They had a whole room, right? So we would get when our packages got delivered, they would go in that room. And then we would go down to management, to the office manager, and she would sort out and give us our mail or delivery packages. And even before that, guys, we would get a text to go down to get our package. So the text pretty much notifies you to let you know, hey Nadia, you got a package, you can come get it at your earliest convenience. Guys, when new management came, that office room, it was a 1-bedroom, and I guess old management years ago turned it into an office space. That way the office manager could go use a bathroom, like everything was right there. When this new management came, guys, because they're all about money, they got rid of that office room and they turned it back into a proper apartment unit. And so we're starting to get our packages, and our packages are being left at the reception area, at concierge. And it started to look ghetto. Like the concierge, like reception area, it's supposed to be nice and clean, guys. Like clear. Now, packages are starting to pile up by the reception area, or by the receptionist. And I'm just like, this place is starting to fall apart. Like, these people really don't care about how this place looks. They don't care. All they care about is that we're paying our rent, while the quality of the building is just going down, down, down. And guys, when I tell you that bothered me, everything started to bother me. Come 2020, summer 2020, everything started to bother me. But I know as much as I wanted to move, I wasn't financially ready to move. So yeah, the nasty carpets. 2020, back to the walls, guys. 2021, this year, the walls. I don't know if someone peed on the wall. This is on my floor, the 9th floor. I don't know if someone peed on the wall. It was right around, I think it was maybe around Easter time. Something is just always happening around Easter time. Something disgusting. I'm walking down the hall to get to the elevator. So guys, right when you get off the elevator, not only do you have that big old nasty stain there to greet you, when you start walking down the hall to get to me, it looks like pee stains all over the wall. I don't know if someone's child, while they had the child in their arms, maybe the child was drinking a juice and just decided to squirt it all over the wall. Guys, I don't know. Someone else said it looked like coffee stained. And guys, you have all of us complaining amongst each other about how disgusting this place is getting, how low down it look, as we would say in Jamaica. But nobody is calling management to like really deal with the issues that we're having. Because mind you, the office manager we used to have, she's now non-existent. She doesn't even work there at the building anymore, because they turned that office space into a 1-bedroom. Someone rented it out. So when I saw that on the wall, guys, I was just like, this is just utterly disgusting. Because it's like, it looks like pee stains, guys. That's what it looks like. I don't know what it was, but to me, that's what it looks like. Or I'm like, juice stains, and I'm like, I talked to one of my neighbors about it who was doing my hair. Nice girl, clean house, everything, just like me. And we were talking about how this building, apartment building, is now like deteriorating. And I think she moved there initially the same time I did back in 2015. So guys, we're both there now for almost like 6 years. And this April, May, I was just like, a tenant, guys, someone who lives amongst us, thought it was okay to do that to the walls. I called property management. Mind you, they don't live here. They don't have a office space here. They don't care. Who knows where they are? I call them and I'm like, can you guys please get someone to like wash these walls and paint over these walls? Because it seemed like someone peed on this wall. Like right as you get, and she's like, describe it. I'm like, ma'am, I'm on the 9th floor, and right as I get off the elevator, you make a little left, and on the wall is like splattered juice. And she's like, okay, oh my God, that's awful. Like, I can't see her, but that's how she sounds, right? She's like, oh my God, that's so awful. Who could have done that? And I'm like, ma'am, can you guys please get someone? Because this is not okay. I remember months ago, guys, I asked them about the carpets. I was like, are you guys ever gonna shampoo these carpets, change out these floorings, these carpets? And they were like, yeah, we're gonna change them out. And mind you guys, that was 2020 when they told me that. So like a year later, the carpets are still disgusting and the walls are just despicable. Like, is this any way, anywhere for any human being to live and be okay with it? And guys, you know what's funny? A lot of my neighbors were just okay with that, especially the nasty ones. They were okay with living like this. Grown people. I mean, these people were older than me. Grown people, guys. Like I said, I don't even want to see inside their apartment. Grown people would just pass it like. So I talked to management, and guys, I came out of my apartment. It was a Friday evening, and lo and behold, now the next side off the wall, it's like this person said, you know what? Let's mirror what is going on here. Let's make that wall match that wall. And so whoever that person is, they must be angry at somebody, or just nasty and disgusting, because they squirt all over the other wall. So I'm here in the middle and I'm like, are you kidding me? And then the following week they had a worker come to paint the walls. Because one day I was done with work one evening and I was going on the road to get some food, and I'm like, okay. They painted the entire hallway, guys, because the whole hallway needed to be painted. Lights, guys, let's talk about the lights. You're coming into your apartment building, guys, your apartment complex. There needs to be nice, bright lights in these, on each floor, right? Guys, the lights were getting so dark, I was just like, this is really gross and dingy. Like, what is going on here? You know, like, what is really going on here? And I'm just like, wow, this place is deteriorating. This place is falling apart. I need to move. And guys, I was going to stick it out for one more year. Mind you, I keep adding years, right? But I was going to stick it out for one more year. Because I'm like, Nadia, if you could stay here another year and seriously save up some money, 2022, come November 2022, because that's when my lease was up, right? October 31st, my lease is up. So I'm like, Nadia, all this is killing you. It's like killing you. Guys, when I tell you it was killing my spirit was dead. I wasn't happy anymore. I didn't care to live at this place anymore. Yes, I love my apartment unit because I'm in control of how I kept my apartment unit. The closet spaces were big. My room was gigantic, but I'm like, I'm not gonna spruce up this place. I'm not gonna make this place look better when this entire building is like trash pretty much, and nobody cares about us. So now we're in 2021, September, right? September. I know I tell no stick a pin from the beginning of this, but yeah. So this is what really pushed me to move, guys. The third Saturday in September, I'm heading to my bed. Around 1 a.m. I'm heading to my bed. And I go into my room and I'm hearing beep beep. Pause. Beep beep. Pause. Beep beep. And I'm like, what is that sound? This is annoying. And guys, I'm the type of person, I cannot sleep in noise. My mother is like that, my sister is like that. Unfortunately, we cannot sleep in noise. As Jamaicans would say, as a pin drop you hear it. That's us. That's me. And I'm just like, okay, it's not my smoke detector because it would have been really loud and I would have noticed it from like hours ago. So clearly this is outside. So guys, this sound is coming from outside. It's attached to the apartment complex, but I can't detect exactly where it's coming from. Guys, I went to my bed that night. Mind you, it takes me forever to fall asleep. Guys, when I lived in that apartment complex, it took me 2 to 3 hours a night to fall asleep in my unit. It sucks. I don't know why. It took me forever to fall asleep, and that's all because I just wasn't contented. So I'm trying to sleep, and I start timing the sound, guys, because it happens every 20 seconds. So it goes beep beep, and then it stops for 20 seconds, maybe 25 seconds. Didn't think it quite got to 30 seconds. And it starts again. Guys, that was the start of that sound, starting that night, that Saturday night going into Sunday morning. That was the start of that sound until the day I left that apartment complex. That night, I hardly got any sleep. Mind you, it's cold. I don't need to be burning my AC. And I think I turned on my AC to tune out that beep beep noise. I tuned out my AC. I'm sorry, I burned my AC. Mind you, it's like 60-degree weather now because, you know, it's September going into October. It's getting kind of chilly. And I had to burn my AC that night just to get some sleep. And I wake up in the morning. I think even before I went to my bed, I call concierge and I'm like, there's this beep beep sound going on. I know it's late, but I just wanted you to know I'll call you guys back in the morning so the super can come and check it out. So Sunday morning comes, super comes up to my apartment to check out the noise. Guys, mind you, there's a language barrier here because he does not speak good English. So there's a language barrier here, which I'm not gonna lie, it annoys me because I'm here speaking proper English and I'm trying to express myself and you're not like fully understanding me. And I'm saying to him, there's a noise. It's not in here, it's not in my apartment, it's coming from outside. Like, can you do something to stop it? Where is it coming from? Can you guys figure this out and like turn it off? And for some reason, guys, he thought I was talking about another sound, like a motor on top of the building. So we're both talking about sounds, but we're talking about two different things, right? And he's like, yeah, it's a motor. And I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm like, why does a motor sound like that? I would expect a motor to have like a more roaring sound, not like beep beep. And he's like, yeah, it's a motor and there's nothing we can do to fix it. And I'm like, okay, all right. And guys, throughout the day, the whole day, if my TV is not on, if something is not on, my computer is not on, all day long you hear that beep beep sound. And I'm like, okay, it's your first day, Nadia. It's okay. It's fine. We're gonna fix this. You're gonna do something about this. And guys, for that first week, I hardly got any sleep. Like, I hardly got any sleep because I had to put up with that noise. And I didn't want to keep burning my AC every night. One, I like warmth, and the AC was not needed. But guys, going into my second week, I decided, you know what, Nadia? You know what? It's time to move, girl. It's time to move. Not just because of this noise, but because of everything else up to this point. You need to move. And I'm like, maybe this is God's way of telling you that, chick, even though you wanted to stay here another year, tough it out, save some money, buy your house in Atlanta, which is like, it's not really a dream of mine anymore, to be honest. I was just like, I need to move. So I went through 1 week, my first week with that noise. Mind you, it's going into October now. And my second week, I started getting sleep because I made up my mind that I had to sleep with my AC on, and then I'll just use a big old blanket to keep myself warm. And then I realized, you know what, Nadia? Go sleep out in your living room because it seems like the noise is less there. So go sleep out in your living room and burn the AC in your living room. And guys, that's how, up until the day I left, October 31st. So for the whole month of October, guys, the last week, or maybe last week and a half in September, plus the whole month of October, guys, until I left that place, I burned my AC every night just to get some sleep and just to be comfortable. Guys, mind you, this thing is affecting the whole building. Again, nobody's saying anything. Maybe it doesn't bother them. Maybe they can, guys, you have some people, they can sleep through anything. It's amazing. I wish I was like that. They can sleep through anything and it doesn't bother them. I'm not like that. Wish I was, but I'm not. When it's time for bedtime, guys, I like peace and quiet. Even throughout the daytime, I like a peaceful environment, which is why I loved that apartment complex because, guys, up until that beep beep sound, I never had an issue with my neighbors. They weren't noisy neighbors. They didn't play loud music, anything like that. Yes, little noise here and there, but quiet time there started at 11 p.m. And guys, I'm telling you, before 11 p.m., my entire complex was quiet. Even during the day, now that I work from home, that apartment complex was quiet. Irrespective of the dirty carpets and the disgusting walls and inhumane property management, two neighbors call them that. Because you call them and attitude starts right away, guys. You call these people to complain about something and their attitudes are it's just nasty. So I have all these issues being stacked up and I'm just like, Nadia, you can't make it here another year. Not with that sound. I called the city and I expressed to them, look, 2 weeks now, I've been living with this sound. It's not inside my apartment unit, it's right outside. And guys, you know what? The first week I spoke to one of the tenants, one of my neighbors, and he's like, yeah, I'm on the first floor and I hear it. It's all over. He's like, I can't sleep because of it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going crazy. Like, I am not going crazy. But I guess people can just live with that, you know? Some people, it may bother them, just like that guy where he said he's not getting any sleep because of it. So clearly that beep beep sound, which it sounded like a smoke detector gone bad. Because even when I called the city guys, the guy on the phone was like, oh, it's the smoke detector. And guys, before that I'm thinking, is it a smoke detector in somebody else's unit? And maybe they moved out, because guys, since for the past few years, people were just moving out like crazy. And when people start moving out, that's a problem. When the turnover rate is high anywhere, that's a problem. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's happening in someone else's apartment unit and no one has gotten to it yet to like turn it off, because it literally sounded like a smoke detector battery was just dying and dying and dying. And so I'm talking to the guy from the city on the phone, and he's like, yeah, that sound, from what you're describing, ma'am, that sounds like somebody's smoke detector gone bad. And I'm like, yes, that's what everybody is saying to me. It's someone's smoke detector or the building's smoke detector. Guys, the city said they would call me back and have someone come. They took my address. They took my apartment unit number. Guys, until this day, nobody no come. But see, this is what happens when you live in a predominantly black community. And yes, I'm going to say it on camera. This is what happens when you live in a predominantly black community. Nobody cares about you. They don't. You know? Had it been South Orange or West Orange or Montclair, someone would have been there, okay? No doubt about it, no questions asked. And guys, I kept waiting for someone to call me back to come check out what's going on. Nothing happened. Nothing ever happened. And I said, you know what, Nadia? Don't wait for people to fix things for you. And that's how I am in real life, guys. And I felt like at that complex, I had been patient long enough. And my first week of October, like October 4th, I started looking around. But I said, you know what, Nadia? You need to get out. Get out of this city. Because unfortunately, guys, predominantly black communities, not all of us, but we destroy things. My coworkers and I were just talking about that a few months ago. We don't like to see things beautiful and have it stay beautiful. And I know not all black folks are like that, because I'm not like that, but I'm just saying. I'm just stating the obvious, guys. So I tried my hardest to move to another city. I'm like, let me move to West Orange. Let me move to South Orange. Let me move to Montclair. But guys, mind you, I know I would be paying significantly more than I'm paying now for rent. I knew that. But guys, I told myself, Nadia, if you want better, you're gonna have to spend the money. And guys, I didn't have enough money saved up to do like a big move to Atlanta. But mind you, I was on Trulia. I was looking at places everywhere except the city I was in, because I'm like, girl, even if you don't want to move to Atlanta yet, because it was so sudden, you know? Because mind you, I wanted to stay in that building for another year. But I'm like, you know what, Nadia, maybe your time is up here. You may not be able to move to Atlanta right now, but because if I move there, I would have to rent. And the whole point of me wanting to move to Atlanta is to buy a home. So I'm like, you know what, Nadia, it's fine. Everything happens for a reason. Take your time. Be patient. One thing at a time. But right now, it's time to move. So I started looking for places outside of the city I was in. When I tell you guys, the money these people are asking for them pop down apartment unit, I'm like, you want 1,800 for what? You want 2,000 for this? And mind you guys, these spaces are way smaller than my current place at the time, because anybody will tell you how gigantic my place was. So I know I had to downsize, but I'm like, I'm downsizing. You don't have washer and dryer unit within the apartment. What am I getting here for $2,000? And guys, what they call luxury apartment buildings in these cities or towns or whatever you want to call it, it's like $2,400 for a 1-bedroom luxury apartment. That's like 700 and something square feet. Not even 750 square feet. And mind you guys, I'm leaving from an apartment unit that was almost 950 square feet. So you do the math. And I'm like, that's not in my budget. I'm like, I know what my budget is. $2,400, $2,000 a month for rent. That's not in my budget. But let me look around and see what's out there. Because guys, I really wanted to get out of this city. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care who grew up here and says, oh, this city is not so bad. I wanted to get out. Lo and behold, I see this luxury unit, which is where I am now, in the city that I'm trying to get out of. And I'm like, wow, this place is beautiful. You know, I'm like, oh my God. And then I remember the name. When I see the name of the complex, I'm like, oh my God. 6 years ago, before I got the place I'm in, I was interested in this place. So guys, this place that I'm in right now, 6 years ago when I was apartment hunting, I saw it. Because you know, my eye them big on me like nice things. You understand? But if I can't afford it, I'm gonna leave it alone. So when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. But when I heard the price per month, and that was 6 years ago. And you know rent goes up every year, it doesn't stop. And I was like, man, I can't afford it. So 6 years later, here I am trying to move outside of this city. And guys, to some people it's not that bad. And I'm not saying it's the worst. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I want better for myself. I want a lot better for myself, especially being in my 30s and getting older. Yes, I'm not married. Yes, I don't have children, but I want pristine. So if I'm gonna elevate myself, especially since this was a rush move, if I'm gonna elevate myself from the situation I was in back at that apartment complex, guys, I want it to be pristine. I want it to be welcoming. I want it to be welcoming. So, but like I said, the prices they had out there in those other cities that I wanted to move in, be a part of so much, my money not at all. Like no. So when I saw this place, they have quite a few buildings. It was another building I saw. It's shaped like a ship, guys. It is shaped like a ship. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God. Let me check it out, the 1-bedroom. But the 1-bedroom, when I got there, that was in my budget. He says, we don't have anything like that. This is more expensive. Like the unit he was showing me at the time, I was like, no. And guys, I really didn't think it was worth it. I did not think it was worth it. So he's like, you know what? I have something that's in your budget. And so he takes me over here. And mind you guys, when he showed me this place, it was a mess because he showed it to me October 7th. And he was like, don't worry about it now, it's a mess, but you know, if you want it, we're gonna clean it up, make it look good. And I said, yes, I'm aware of that, it's okay, I understand. The money I'm paying for this place, guys, I don't think it's still worth it. I think it's worth like $200-300 less. And with all the physical appearance issues I've been having here, and mind you, it's not a brand new building like the ship-like one that I wanted, because the ship-like one was built in 2019, so like 2 years ago. So mind you, this building was built in 2009 or renovated or whatever, 2009. But still, the money that I'm paying now for rent, I still think it's ridiculous. But again, I had to make a move. I couldn't afford what I really wanted outside of this city. And because this is a luxurious apartment complex, I was like, you know what, Nadia? You're gonna be in the same city, but it's a nicer side of the city, nicer than where you were before. And mind you, the street where I was before, it wasn't that bad. It got kind of noisy because the police station was there, the hospital was there. But because I was all the way up in the back, it didn't bother me. But I'm like, wow, this street is a much nicer street. This area of my city is a much nicer area. All the buildings here are nice, they're luxurious looking, they're up and coming. So I'm like, you know what, Nadia? You may not be able to elevate yourself outside of this city right now, but you're still elevating yourself. Like apartment unit wise, apartment complex wise. Beautiful carpets, guys. Clean carpets. Clean carpets. Concierge is amazing here. And guys, that day, October 7th, I saw this place and I wasn't 100% like, yay, awesome. I put in my application October 8th, or maybe it was October 7th. I put in my application. By October 8th, guys, that afternoon I got approved. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. But I kept looking because, guys, and I'm gonna wrap up this video because I know it's getting really long, but they approved me like just like that. They were like, Nadia, your credit score is nice. It was nicer than I thought. And guys, I worked hard between 2020 to 2021. I worked hard to really get my credit up because I wanted to buy a house. So I worked really hard. And for those of you who are Jamaicans watching or outside of America, credit is a big deal here, guys. Like, credit is everything here in America. It's not like Jamaica, where I'm from, where money talks. Like, credit is a huge deal here in America to buy a nice house, to buy a nice car, to just get approved for a nice car, to get approved for a loan, to get approved for an apartment. Your credit score needs to be up there. And guys, because my credit score was sweet, I paid little to nothing for the deposit. So I was like, I was quick though. I went ahead, I did the down payment, the deposit, and you know, once you do that, you're kind of stuck. And I was just like, what am I getting myself into? Because guys, I don't know what it was. Something in my heart kept telling me that, yes, Nadia, you need to move because that place you are right now, it's turning into just trash. So you need to move, but is this place the right move? And with that question, guys, I will talk about that in my next video on whether this place was the right move. I know it wasn't. A part of me wish I had just bite my teeth really hard and just go to Atlanta and just start over. Because you can always start over financially, guys. In every way you can start over. I will always have my stay-at-home job. I can take my stay-at-home job anywhere with me. But Atlanta, it just didn't work out. And I kept looking, even though I got approved for here on October 8th, guys, I kept looking. I notified my apartment complex that I'm leaving, which felt good to do, but I was still nervous. Because I'm like, I have 3 weeks now to move. Something is telling me that the move to the new place is not the best move, so keep looking. And guys, I kept looking around because I'm like, now I already told them, I already notified them that I'm leaving. So there's no turning back now. But guys, I kept looking around, and the prices for what those other cities wanted for something that doesn't even look good as this. And mind you, I don't think this is the best of the best, but the money that these people were asking, it was just ridiculous. And I was like, you know what, Nadia? You can still come here, stay humble, relax, come here, and the money you're paying here, even though it's a lot more than you were paying at your old place, you can still save up, and within a few years, it's gonna take you longer to save. So maybe you need to get another income coming in, which is, I'm working on that. But again, everything takes time, guys. So I'm like, you know what, Nadia? Humble yourself, come here. Something in here is telling you that coming here isn't right. You don't know what it is. Now I know what it is, guys, and I will talk about that in my next video. So guys, I'm here. I'm glad I left that old place, because from all the experiences, all the things I mentioned before in this video, when that beep beep sound started, which like I said until the day I left, it didn't stop. Maybe it's still going now, a month and a half later. But, or really 2 months later, but it's been a month and a half since I left there. Maybe it's still going on and people can live with it. People can live with the dirty carpets. People can live with the dingy looking walls. People can live with the dark hallways that didn't have proper bright lighting. People can live with that, and that's fine, guys. But I wasn't gonna live like that anymore. I like peace, especially the older I get, guys. The older I get, I love peace, I love quiet, I love sophistication. As long as my place is clean, even if it's not the most luxurious, as long as it's clean and pristine, and I have my little wine over there, I'm good. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. So guys, I know this was a lengthy chit-chat story time of why I moved, but I'm telling you, since I've been here, it's not perfect. We'll talk about that in my next video, but irrespective of here not being perfect, in no time here, I fall asleep. In no time. In less than half an hour, guys, I fall asleep. So, overall, guys, I'm glad I moved. I needed to move. I really think God wanted me to move. And that beep beep noise, wherever it existed, it pushed me. It pushed me. And when I look back at everything, guys, everything about that apartment complex, especially management, rude management, who they're talking to you on the phone like you're nobody, I'm like, girl, it's time to move. So here I am, I'm in my new place. I'll talk about the issues I'm now having with this new place. To be specific, noisy neighbors, noisy, inconsiderate, selfish neighbors. I'll talk about that in my next video. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the lengthy chat, but I had to get it all out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe, guys. And I will catch you in the next one. Guys, stay safe. It's a holiday season. Stay safe, stay blessed, and just be kind to one another, guys. Just be kind to one another. All right, guys. I'm Nadia. This is my channel, Nadia's World. If you are new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.